Since the severe Israeli system forced a power and water barricade on the honest individuals of Gaza, fueling their hopelessness, individuals were battling day to day to address their issues, with an enormous number queuing outside washrooms in the southern part, with a considerable lot of them didn't clean up for quite a long time. The staggering bar was forced after the Palestinian obstruction bunch answered with weighty power to the proceeded with Israeli persecution of blameless regular citizens. The Hamas hostile was three-pronged, denoting an uncommon assault throughout the entire existence of the involved country. Israel's mercilessness go on in Gaza as the loss of life in aimless bombarding and shelling in Gaza martyred 2,670, with more than 9,200 Palestinians harmed, the Service of Well-being said. In the meantime, in the Gaza Strip, involved Israeli powers were getting ready Sunday for a ground attack as the nation promised to obliterate Hamas in counter for its unexpected assault 8 days prior. Ahmed Hamid escaped Gaza City with his significant other and 7 youngsters, making a beeline for Rafah after the Israeli Armed Force Friday cautioned occupants of the north of the territory to travel south for their own security. "We haven't showered in days. In any event, going to the latrine requires standing by in a line," Hamid told AFP. "There is no food. All products are not accessible and the expenses of what is accessible have flooded. The main food sources we find are fish jars and cheddar. I feel like a weight, unfit to do anything." The UN gauges that around 1 million individuals have been uprooted since Israel started a tireless ethereal barrage of Gaza. The Hamas assault left in excess of 1,400 individuals dead on the Israeli side. Palestinians lined to top off on water in Rafah displaced person camp in the southern Gaza Strip on October 14, 2023. AFP. Mona Abdul Hamid, 55, left her home in Gaza City, heading for her family member's home in Rafah. She ended up in a home of individuals she didn't have any idea. "I feel embarrassment and shame. I'm searching for asylum. We have relatively little garments and a large portion of them are grimy now, with no water to wash them," she said, adding that no power, no water, no web. "I feel like I'm losing my mankind. Either drink or wash." Since Friday, Saba Mazba, 50, has resided with her better half, girl and 21 different family members at a companion's home in Rafah. "The most exceedingly awful and most hazardous thing is that we can't track down water. Not even one of us wash now in light of the fact that the water is so scant," she told AFP. Palestinians with their effects escaped from their homes following Israeli airstrikes in Gaza City on October 13, 2023. AFP. At his home in Khan Yunis, close to a school show to the UN organization supporting Palestinian exiles, ESAM said, "We got visitors who were dislodged from the Gaza City region, the Al Rimal area and Tal al-Hawa. However, water is an issue," said the 23-year-old who didn't wish to give his complete name. "Consistently we consider how to get water. Assuming that we wash, we won't drink. The people who have looked for shelter at the UNRWA schools likewise frantically look for food and water." The UN organization's overseer of correspondences, Juliette Touma, told AFP more individuals are probably going to become dislodged as individuals keep on leaving their homes. Where could mankind be? Israel persistently massing powers and weapons at the line with Gaza in front of a normal ground hostile. Regardless of the Israeli departure request, there were airstrikes in the south, remembering for Rafah, where one occupant said a specialist's home was focused on. A man takes a gander at the obliteration in a desolated area in the Gaza Strip Jabalia displaced person camp on October 11, 2023, following for the time being Israeli airstrikes. AFP. All the family was cleared out, said Khamis Abu Halal. Allah al-Hams highlighted the new indications of shelling in an area in Rafah. "I checked the monstrous obliteration out. They say there is psychological oppression here. Where is the mankind they talk about?" he said. "All are regular folks here, with nothing to do with any associations, however they passed on. Nobody is left alive. Samira Kasab remains on the remaining parts of what was once her home in Rafah, inquiring, "Where will we go? Where could the Middle Easterner nations be? We have spent our entire lives in dislodging. Our home, which housed every one of my kids, was struck. We dozed in the road and nothing remains," she said. "We are confined. My little girl has disease and I can't take her to the clinic. At the end of the day, experience the ill effects of hypertension and diabetes." Be that as it may, she resistant lifted the triumph sign with her hand. Encircled by her grandkids, she said, "I won't leave regardless of whether I kick the bucket. We ask for bread from our neighbors, yet we won't leave behind a grain of sand."